What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. You already know what this is. This is Woosah Wednesday. This is Queen Sugar, the season finale, a full 90 minutes. This is episode 16, Dream Variations. Okay, you guys, let's talk about this episode real quick. I would love it if next Wednesday they started season 3. That would make me happy. Like, wishful thinking, but yeah. So we're gonna have to wait till next year, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and knock a couple of people out. Literally, you guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. These are my notes, okay? As you can see, it's not even a full page. I've got some naked lines in there because I was just like, what are we doing here? What's happening? Now, let me say this. If you guys have had the opportunity to see my character analysis for Queen Sugar that I put out earlier today, you know by now, and you've seen this episode, you know by now I was wrong about a couple of things, and we're going to talk about it real quick. But let's talk about Aunt Vi in Hollywood. Aunt Vi in Hollywood, back to season 1, episode 1 is Blue outside with the bike with Hollywood and Aunt Vi sitting on the porch watching her boys and smiling and laughing, and Hollywood gets a phone call, and it's the lawyers about the deposition. Y'all remember he had that deposition because they had explosion on that rig he was working on, and they was given a figure about how much they could possibly expect to get from, collectively going in and suing. So he gets the phone call and he's listening, and we're not sure what it's about. We just prep ourselves because we don't know if it's going to be bad news or not. I mean, we've taken a couple of hits this season, right? So bad news is possible. Well, come to find out, he got a larger sum than he expected. Instead of what he was told, he's going to get triple that. And he said, we rich, Vi, we rich. And they sing and they celebrate later on. They sitting on the porch, and she telling him she worried that they gonna end up broke. Or it don't mean they gonna make them happy. They already happy. This is what he's telling her. They just a good couple. They a loving couple. Y'all know how I feel about Vi in Hollywood. And he asked her to marry him, and she said, are you sure about that, baby? He was like, yeah, as sure as I'll ever be. It was a good moment. Later on, we see Blue and Aunt Vi and Hollywood. They go over to Darla's, and Darla throws a engagement party for them. Now, she had called Charley, and Charley sent her some flowers over, and they invited Remy. Charley couldn't come because she got a lot of drama going on down at the mill. But we're going to talk about that. But Remy came and brought a little libation and whatnot. And of course, Ralph Angel is still doing his first harvest, so he couldn't come. But they talked about having told them, and Ralph Angel, excited for them. Everybody loves Hollywood and Vi. Everybody feels like Hollywood and Vi are the it couple. But I think I already said that for the last 2 seasons. I told y'all, this is the couple you want to be. Remy fine, coffee fine, but baby, Hollywood is everything a woman wants in a man. I promise you that. Keep living. You don't believe me? Keep living. Okay. So they have a good old time. They drink and enjoy themselves and kid and laugh and talk. And later on, when Nova is washing up the dishes, okay, and Remy is helping her and they're talking, it was a weird moment. I was like, what are we doing here? Where are we going with this? What are we saying? What's happening? What are we doing? But, you know, it was a moment where she was it kind of seemed like she was regretting some things. She was wishing some things were different. I don't know. She seemed hopeful, but at the same time, she seemed, I don't know. To me, Nova was a little weird in this episode. And I didn't watch the after show because, one, I want to go ahead and get this video loaded so I can get it edited and I can get it out to you guys as quickly as possible. And I know that I could watch that again. And two, I was left feeling a certain type of way about the episode. And I really like to give you guys my very, very fresh opinions about things. I don't watch other people's videos first. I don't read other things first. When I come to you, this is just how I feel. I'm just talking about it right straight off the press, you know, and I feel like that's more authentic. And that way you allow yourself to be really, really right or really, really wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I think you can reason together a lot better when you're able to defend your honest thoughts about things as opposed to trying to defend somebody else's thought that's now in your head and you're regurgitating it. Okay, so let me just say that. So yeah, it was a weird moment, and he touched her hand. I think he kind of felt what the vibe that she was giving off, the one that I can't quite describe, and then he hugs her, and then he goes on about his way. It was a, I don't know, it was a weird, awkward, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about that moment. All right, so that's Aunt Vi in Hollywood. We don't see them anymore the episode. Okay, after that. Um when the episode opens, we get to see Blue. Little Blue, the episode opens with Little Blue and it ends with Little Blue. I can't talk about Little Blue right now. I cannot. I can't. I can't. Y'all already know what it's going to be if I talk about Blue right now. So let's just jump in. Okay, so Charley is down to her last three farmers. Everybody has bailed out. Okay, they either calling her and bailing out or they going through Ralph Angel and bailing out. And this what pisses me off more than anything, you guys. Y'all know if y'all watch my Walking Dead videos, I'm going to do a Tamar and Vince video. You guys, I am a ride or die. If you don't know that by now, I am a fighter. And just to see all these black farmers, why would you take the word of a white man over this woman? What reason has she given you not to take your cane there? Did you go by the mill and see that everything was copacetic at the mill? Huh? Did you even bother to do that? Like, what's the point? Really, what's the point, you guys? If we not gonna fight on this earth, what is the point? Y'all know I'm about peace, love, and happiness. I'm probably one of the few people that has forgiven Darla. And I really, really wish Ralph Angel would forgive Darla. Okay. I really, really was hoping that he would do that this episode. I was crushed. I'm still a little sore about Kenya being gone. Kenya won more than I am sore about this whole Blue thing because it would just be different. To me, it would be different. I don't know. How can you love Blue and hate Blue Mama? I don't see the point in not forgiving Darla. I don't. You know the situation at the time. You know she was on drugs at the time. You forgiving all that other shit she did. And you still love Blue. Okay, anyway, I digress. Charley, I mean, she's just going through it, you guys. She's really, really going through it. And she comes up with this plan. Okay, she comes up with this plan and she goes to talk to Ralph Angel about it. And to me, it's brilliant. Like, I love it. I love this look in her eye, this king look that she has in her eye that lets me know she is ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? She is ready. Well, she has this plan. Ralph Angel's going to take his cane to the Landry's to mill it because they need the money. They cannot afford to lose this harvest. And as opposed to her taking more money out of the mill that only has 3 farmers, okay, to pay him, instead let the Landry's give you the money for the sugar. okay? And just trust me. And he said, we on this you on some old Godfather type shit. And she is just like, yeah, we gonna do this. And I promise you we'll never have to worry about them again. I see the look in her eye. I believe in Charley. I say this in my character analysis. And I'm all in with Charley. I really am. Listen, if you fight and you die, it's better than just letting somebody pick you off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really, really going through it with this overwhelming sense of weakness that I'm feeling in this country as a whole. Like, this is why I can't watch the news and stuff, you guys, because I wear it like a coat. And right now, I'm just like anyway. So I'm so proud of Charley, and I'm proud of Ralph Angel. And not only does she have that conversation and he decides he's going to, trust her and go with it, which, well, you should. She's trusted you. I mean, yeah, you've had your issues with Charley, but Charley has totally ridden out for you. You know what I'm saying? So, um, she also tells him how good he's done, and she knows they've had their differences, but she's proud of him. Later on, when she is standing in the mill and she's in this dark corridor, and I just looked away for a second. I wasn't sure if she saw Remy and she turned to walk off, or if she turned to walk off and he came through the door. And he just kind of seemed like maybe she didn't want to see him. I don't know. That's what it seemed like to me. But like I said, I turned away for a second. Anyway, he's coming from Nova's in the celebration. Sorry, you guys. Um, and he they're just talking, and she's like, what are you gonna do? He says, I'm gonna go. He's asking her what she's gonna do, and he tells her that he's gonna go to all of the farmers and one by one and have a sit down and talk with them. And she said, that's really, really sweet, but you don't have to do that. He was like, oh. She said, I got a plan. He was like, okay, well, what's your plan? Tell me about it. Let's. And she's hesitant. I was hesitant for her. I really, really was. Partially because I had seen the commercials, but also because, like I said in my character analysis, Remy has proven himself to be sort of this standard bearer. Like, he is a man who, um, he's he's not a feather ruffler. Even though he told her to fight, fight, fight a couple of episodes ago, or it might have been last episode, stand and fight, stand and fight. His ideal or version of fighting is completely different from Charley. Charley thinking like a business shark. And she is like, you know what? I'm not going to just wound these mother suckers. I'm taking their kneecaps out, okay? I'm disemboweling. I'm removing aortas, okay? I'm taking out whole pieces of cranium. I don't want these Mickey Fricky fools to get back up again, all right? And I'm with it. Promise you, I'm with it. Okay, so she kind of tells him, a little bit about what she's going to do. She don't even really get in it good. Ralph Ames is going to take his cane sugar, and I'm going to get into business with Boudreaux and work this thing from the inside out. And he's against it. You don't know what you're getting into. You're getting in over your head. And she was like, no, 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 this is going to work. I've done this before, different form of fashion. This is going to work. I thought it through. The same thing she told Ralph Angel. I thought it through, down the street, around the corner, and 10 steps ahead of that. I trust Charley. I do. I really, really do. Well, he gives her what I call the ultra threat. An ultra threat is an ultimatum and a threat. And it's at that moment, I was like, hold up. Hold up. You ain't no different than these farmers. First of all, he tells her, don't do this. Just because, you gonna do this to the farmers. And she was like, the farmers left me. The farmers left me. They take the word over this white man, which I was saying all along. They take the word over this white man and leave after I have been over backwards. Okay, I have proven myself over and over and over again, and they still up and leave. They still go and do this, and he was like, I understand, but just hear me out. And she's like, no, 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 no. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing this. And she says, well, either you with me or you're not. You trust me or you don't. He said, I don't. I was like, go on get. Gon' get, Remy. Gon' get. I don't know who told me, if it was Badu, if it was Natural Girl, but somebody say they didn't trust Remy. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying Remy is unredeemable. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying for right here and right now, gon' get, Remy. We don't need you. These is red bottoms, Remy. These is bloody shoes. Okay, this is war. You really think what and he was like, "Oh, you're making a mistake, and I can't stand by you with this." Well, go on. If you're not here to fight, if you're not here to suit up and go to war, Remy, why you still standing here? What are we talking about? You're still here. She said, "You know what? I have tried to prove myself to you over and over again, and I'm not gonna keep doing it. Either with me or you're not. If you're not, deuces." He leaves. He goes on. Get out. Go on, get. Go on, get. Then she goes and sees the Boudreaux guy. And she is talking to him. She's like, well, I apologize, because she had already gone to see him. Y'all remember when she got her purse and got up from Remy and went to see him? Okay, so now she there. And she goes to see him. And it's like it was a little dance. I wouldn't do this, and you all talk and all this, that, and the other. Now she's going back and she's saying, I apologize and I'm sorry. And he says we're gonna team up together and nobody has to know. Okay, now he is low key flirting with her. Okay, with a real kind of what's the name of that filthy pervert down in Alabama, in a real Judge Moore kind of way. So he tells her that nobody has to know that they teamed up together and they're gonna be a force to reckon with. She's like, that's fine, but here's the thing: no partnership. You buy me straight out. And he was like, yeah. She was like, you buy me straight out. I want to spend time with my son. That's what I'll do. I will run the business, day-to-day operations. You pay my salary, and we'll share the profits. A percentage of the profits after you meal all the sugar. And he is like, well, okay. And she's sitting up and he's sitting up. There's a little small table in front of them, and he goes and touches her hand and she grabs his hand and holds it. She doesn't shrink away. This is a part of the game, right? She grabs his hand and holds it. She was like, first things first. And he is like, oh, okay. Whatever you say, yes, ma'am. I was like, oh, when you wake up and see that 6-inch stiletto sticking dead in your eye, just waiting to jam into your brain, you're going to say to yourself, what the? Yeah, 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 yeah. That was a woman that took you out, a black woman. I'm with you, Charley. I support you. Okay, so that's Charley. All right. And Landry's. Now let's talk about Ralph Angel and Darla. Darla comes over, and Nova's at the house with a reporter. The reporter is interviewing a farmer. Remember, they writing a counter piece to the negative piece that the Boudreaux put out there about Queen Sugar Mill. And she looks and sees Darla pull up, and she gets up and she goes over, and Darla's gonna go up the steps and go into the house. She wanna just get a couple of things, and Nova stands there at the steps and tells her she need to go on and come back when Ralph Angel get back, because she just don't trust her. Now everybody want to cuss Nova out, and I understand. Everyone is hurt. Everyone loves Blue. Everyone loves Ralph Angel, and they don't want Blue or Ralph Angel hurt. And this is what they perceive to be is another hurt that you are putting on Ralph Angel and Blue and Vi. And y'all know that Nova is a fierce defender of her family. And she's brutal. She's brutal. She's tight-lipped. She's standing on the steps, and Darla is standing down, and she, you know, Darla has to suck it up. And she's just like, I don't want any trouble. I just want to get a couple of things. And you can't go in there without Ralph Angel being, you come back that way Ralph Angel can deal with you. And just the just the hurt. I feel for Darla so bad. I really, really do. She just releases it in a breath and she goes on and she is, crying and she is just trying to hold it together, getting in her car and going on. And there's a small moment where Nova feels like she's gone too far. But then there's another piece of her that feels like that's what she get. Because here's the goal. We're hurt, so we must hurt others. Okay? It is important for them to tell Darla every chance they can get that she ain't shit for what she did. Okay, they gonna never let her forget it. And that's the worst thing about forgiveness is it's like jail. Unforgiveness. It's like jail. When you withhold unforgiveness from a person, it's like putting them in jail for life. All right. Anyway, so Darla leaves there and she goes over to Aunt Vi and she just pulls up to the house a bit so she can see them. And she sees little Blue playing. She hasn't seen him in a couple of days and she just lets out a scream of anguish and she pulls off. She's crying. Y'all know Darla's a good crier. She's crying and she's carrying on. Later on, before Charley leaves Ralph Angel, after she tells him about her plan and she tells him that she's proud of him and she's going to stand by him and she wants him to know where her loyalties lie. That's why she fired Darla. And he thinks to himself, oh, you fired Darla. There's a moment where he feels bad as well, right? So he goes and looks for Darla. He is looking for Darla everywhere. He goes to every outhouse, dog house, and farmhouse. He goes from pillar to post. He looks up under every rock. And he looking for her, can't find him. He's already gone down to the rehab center and talked to her sponsor because that's who she was staying with. And the sponsor said she was worried about it because she ain't coming in tonight. Said she wasn't coming in tonight. And Ralph Angel looks one more place. It's at this pool where Darla likes to swim. And there she is swimming. And he looks down on her and he seems really, really relieved that she's not using and that she's swimming. And he goes down and he talks to her. And she asked him how the harvest is going, and he only wants to talk about why she said what she said and did what she did. And why didn't you tell me 7 years ago? And she said, well, maybe if you hear me explain. So she starts to tell him about the situation, and he thinks that she's headed in this place where she wants to talk about what she did with how many guys, and he don't want to hear that. And she's like, okay. And I mean, she's taking it. The only person I don't think she's gotten it from is Aunt Vi. Okay. But Nova was Charley was hard on her, and Nova wasn't no walk in the park. So Ralph Angel, she got this. And she said, well, when I got back and found out I was pregnant, I wasn't sure whose it was. And I was glad to be pregnant because I felt like I didn't have to use. Like it would keep me from using. And I wanted more than anything to get away from using. And then you went to jail. And he's crying and he's upset. She said, and he is brewing. He is brewing. He's crying, he's sweating, and he really just wants to grab and shake her, but it comes out in this way that is frustrating because he still loves her. He's mad as hell. He almost wish he didn't know. I can tell by the way he acting. And she tells him, I was afraid. I was afraid. I was afraid to tell you. I was afraid to tell you. And, so he goes on and she says, well, what did you want me to say? You tell me that Blue might not be yours. You should have just told me that from the beginning. And he said, I can't never trust you no more. I can't be with you no more. I'll never look at you the same. And so she looks to the side and she starts crying and she says, so we over? And he said, how can I be with you if I can't trust you? And she's broken. She's already been crying. She's swimming because she's been crying. Everybody know you get in the shower, you get in the pool to hide your tears, right? So she said, what about Blue? And he said, Blue is the blood that run through my veins, even though my blood don't run through his veins. Here's the thing. We have no idea whose blood runs where because you guys have not gotten a paternity test. I am not sure why you guys have not gotten a paternity test. I don't get it. I don't understand what's happening here. But okay. All right. We're not going to pick at that sore. The episode is over, but it's a little dumb to me for you to hear her say repeatedly over and over again she's not sure whose baby it is, and you don't just definitively just find out exactly if Blue is your son or not. All right. So he leaves, and before he leaves, she tells him, um, I don't want to take Blue from you. I'll leave him with you for a while. And he said, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to go up, to DC and stay with my parents and see if I can work things out. And she says, I'll tell Blue that I'm sick and I've gone away to get well for a while. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I know he just 7, but I don't agree with putting that lie on top of the lie y'all already telling him. Just tell him what's up, because the this episode opens with little Blue sitting in the garden. Okay, same garden he was in when everyone found out. Remember when I told you it went black and he said, there you are. um Him and Kenya talking, and Kenya asked him what was going on. Y'all, she was like, Blue, what's happening? And Blue was like, I was trying to tell you, but I couldn't say nothing in the house because I had to say a bad word. So I can tell you out here in the garden. And he said, I heard him say that damn girl. And Kenya was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I think they was talking about mom. And Kenya was like, what? And he was like, yeah, word. And Kenya was like, that shit ain't right. And Blue was like, yeah, I know it's something else going on. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Something is going on. And Aunt Vi comes and she is singing. Everybody's trying to make Blue feel good and, forget about it and distract him and all of that. But things have been the same way for months with Blue and Ralph Angel and Darla. They have been a team. So you guys are really, really dumb if you think Blue don't know what's going on. So end of the episode happens, and after Ralph Angel leaves Darla, he goes and picks up Blue, and Blue is asleep, and puts him in the truck, and Blue wakes up and says, Pop, hey Pop. And he just looks at him. Ralph Angel's like, oh, they call their daddy Pop. And he says, where you been, Dad? And this is harvest time, remember? And Blue's, I don't know. He just had a moment where he was going to break down because Ralph Angel said, where did you think I was? And Blue didn't dare say. He didn't want to hear himself say that he thought he was gone. What's so funny is that he didn't ask for Darla. He didn't say, where's Mom? So, I don't know. I have a lot of respect for people who can forgive. I am a very tough as nails person. I am a fighter. But forgiveness was something I just learned early on. So Ralph Angel just distracts Blue and tells him that you know what, why I named you Blue, and he goes through this whole story about why he named him Blue, and it's color of the ocean, color of the sky, all things wonderful. And gets in the car, and Blue goes back to sleep, and that's how the episode ends, you guys. That is the end of Queen Sugar season 2. I don't really know what season 3 is going to hold. I'm looking forward to what is going on with the mill and Charley, and that's what I'm going to focus on for season 3. I'm not going to invest anymore in this whole Blue Darla Ralph Angel situation, because obviously the writers have decided to kind of leave this broken. I don't know if next season they're going to get a paternity test, if they're waiting to do that next season. It's, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, you guys, that is Queen Sugar. That is the season finale, season 2 finale of Queen Sugar. And yeah, that's it. You guys tell me what you think. Put it down below. Um, let me know what's up. How did you guys feel about this episode? How did you guys feel about the way Remy acted towards Charley? What do you guys think about um, Darla and Ralph Angel? Are you guys excited about Hollywood and Vi getting married? I sure am. It's the best part of this episode was Hollywood and Vi getting engaged to be married. So I'm excited about a wedding, the beginning of next season. Okay, you guys, I'm not gonna hold you. Thanks so much for tuning in with me this whole season. I really, really love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you understand. Um, it's not my typical review, but yeah. Until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.